Hello. So one of the things you might have heard me talk about are the different types of microcements, mineral-based microcements and resin-based microcements. In this video, I'm going to concentrate on the differences in different mineral-based microcement systems. They're the traditional systems, so they've been around for many years, and as such, there are lots of different types of effects out there. But the two main characteristics that you would need to look at to understand the performance of that particular system is the aggregate that's used and the polymer recipe, the resin content, some systems call it. So first of all, we'll talk about the aggregates. The aggregate is the stone, very, very fine, obviously, because we're talking microcements, not cement. And different systems use different stone, different aggregates. The majority use limestone or marbles. Those are calcite-based systems. You've also got some that use silicas, some that use granites, and others that use quartz. Some systems will use a mix of all of those aggregates. So you never know exactly what you're getting and which aggregate they've used, so which is predominant. So that one, they're a little bit hazy on the performance characteristics. If you go with something that's on a pure aggregate basis, then you've got a better indication of how they're going to work. All minerals are graded for hardness on what's called the Mohs scale, M-O-H-S. Okay, and in a very abbreviated way, they go from 1 to 10. So 1 is a talc, very, very soft. 10 is a diamond, very, very hard. And the way the system works is anything that is a category 2 is twice as hard as a category 1. Anything that's a category 3 is twice as hard as a category 2, so 4 times harder than a category 1, and it goes so on up the scale, which is why it's such a short scale. So just to give you an idea, limestones, calcites, there are 3. Marbles, depending on where they're quarried, can be between a 3 and a 5. As you'll know, some marbles are a lot softer than others, so if you've got a marble in them, you're not sure again where on that scale they are. Same with granites, or similar with granites, they're a 5 to a 6. Silicas are always a 6, and quartz always sit in a class 7. So that gives you an idea of where the hardness goes. So you might have heard some people saying the microcement that they've used has been very soft. That'll be because it's using something lower down the scale, like a limestone or a grade 3 marble. Others, obviously, a lot more hard wearing, so they could be silica or quartz based. Just as information, our Polytura system is a fully quartz based system. Okay, so that's one of the main things to think about. The other thing that informs the performance characteristics are the polymer recipes. So mineral based systems are all a polymer modified microcement. The big issue here is there are over 2,000 polymers for a chemist to choose from when they're making that polymer recipe. So no microcement, even if it was using exactly the same aggregate, no microcement would be the same, because that part of the recipe is, it could just be so many different ways. But things to look at, or things to take into consideration. The polymers, they refer to things like drying times. They also refer to bonding, that sort of thing. So they give those characteristics, those elements. So some systems will need you to prime between layers. So you'll put a primer down, you'll put the microcement down, another primer down, the next level of microcement on there. And that's because the polymer recipe within it requires an extra bonding layer in between there. Other systems refer to drying times. They've got longer drying times or different pot lives. They might go off quicker, might go off longer. Some microcements as well also insist on a mesh within the microcement. Now, that's not the mesh in a prep layer. That's actually in the microcement itself, and that's because it suffers from shrinkage cracks. It prevents the shrinkage cracks, and again, that's as a result of the different types of polymer recipes in there. Hopefully that's given you a very brief idea, if you're starting to look at microcements, of the things you might want to take into consideration. We don't talk about specific characteristics of specific other products because we've not tested them in the labs. We don't know, and we don't understand exactly how everybody's system works. We're just talking in generalities, but to give you a slightly better idea of what you're looking at. If you have any questions at all, then you can post them below in the comments. You can call us. You can look on the website at Actis. There is a page on all of this on the Actis website, which details things like it also highlights the Mohs scale that we talked about as well. So if you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call. Thank you.